What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cheatlanders. This time I'm going to show you the king of shotguns, the AA-12. Now this thing is a beast, but unfortunately it's expensive. It's not one of the guns you can get off the exchange, so you have to get it here, and you can find it from 2 to 3K, which is about double the price of the pump shotguns. And it only goes up. Like if these low ones start, like the cheapest it was for me was like 3.5 a second ago, but it looks like some people have posted one for 2K is pretty good. Um, and there's a bunch of amazing things about this shotgun. Uh, but this is how I would like to build it. This is the ideal, like, if it was still a little earlier in some of the other seasons, I would say this is the build to run. And this is still a great build. It's not that expensive. You got cost of the gun 2 to 3K, um, which compared to the pump shotgun, it's a lot more. Now, if you're doing threes, I would say the pump shotgun's a bad choice. Pump shotgun's great for solos. This shotgun is the shotgun you want for threes, and maybe this build. You could throw bullet recycle on there to recover some of your ammo, because the ammo, like this thing, goes through ammo. And that starts to become pricey. But if you can recover every kill shot, like every second or third shot, if it kills the enemy, you get that round back. That saves you what, 400. So I mean, it adds up over time. Like every other shot's like 2K, 2K, or two shots is like a K. So every time you save 2 rounds from killing enemies, you're saving 1,000. It would add up, or it does add up over time. But this is, unfortunately, they're really expensive now, like 5,400. So you're looking price of the gun. This is like you're looking almost double the price of the gun itself at 3K. So you've already doubled the price. That starts to become an expensive gun. Um, so unless you're going threes, for threes, I would say this is the ideal gun and this is the ideal build because you're looking at probably a sub 15K gun. You're probably going to be running T5 and you're going to be running purple ammo uh, at best with this guy. Now, I wouldn't recommend, even with the drum mag, maybe in threes. In threes, fill her up. She'll hold like 22 rounds. If you're running this in solos, I recommend no more than 10 rounds at a time. You're not going to need more than 10. I mean, realistically, you could probably go 8. Like if you want to divide up your mags and stick them in your safe at like 8, 7, buy 2 stacks, have 1 stack of 8, 1 stack of 7, throw the stack of 8 in the gun, save your stack of 7, maybe have a couple more if you want, if you plan on using it throughout, or if your intent is to use this to kill somebody and then ditch it and have it come back in insurance, uh, you know, you may only need this much ammo because she does wreck. Uh, but you really don't need all this, especially like for solos. If you're running solos, let me show you something. Like this is nice to have, too expensive. This is nice to have, not very expensive. You could leave it on there. Like this is an okay build because each one of these is probably only about 2K a pop. Like I think I paid 1,500 for that. I paid less than 2K for that, and I paid like 2011 for this. And that's a lot for this thing. And this thing is a machine at that. But you don't even need, like I was testing it, you don't even need this. You don't even need this. This would be nice to have. Really, you could throw any choke on it. Just pick up, like I would run it like this for starters. Let me show you what it does in the shooting range. And then as you find shotgun parts in raid, even if they're just like it's like a gray choke or whatever, if you if you don't have enough loot to bring out, like grab extra shotgun parts, grab an extra choke, or I think you can still use muzzle brakes as well. Um, a choke is ideal for this thing because the dispersion on this thing is ridiculous, which is why frontal is kind of necessary for this thing. But look at the damage on this thing. With blue ammo, you're looking at 3 tapping T5s. with purple ammo, it 2-taps with no damage attachments. It 2-taps. Now you get a bad spread, or you get too far out. The further out this thing is, the more spread it gets, and also the more you fire. Past 3 rounds, let me show you something. Actually, that's doing not bad. When I was getting past 3 rounds, it started to actually hit the board here, and the thing was going out because the spread was so bad. There it goes. You see that? The more you fire, the larger the spread radius gets. I recommend probably 3-round bursts. So just like, that's enough to kill somebody. If you want to have the full 12 rounds, that's fine, but in solos, you're not going to need 12 rounds to kill somebody. 8 is enough, even if you miss a few. So, this thing fires fast. This thing is just devastating, and it'll reach out further than you think. But you can see, like, when you fire more than 3, the spread, sometimes you'll get that stray few rounds that'll just, like, go all the way around the target. Let's look at it over here on the board. So, like, for 5K with purple ammo, it's not a bad gun for solos. So it's comparable to the pump shotgun if you're not really good at hitting your shotgun shots and you just need to fire faster to compensate. Oof. Yeah, it's got some spread. So you can see the round sitting on the outside there. But I mean, overall, not bad. And then you can just pull out, like, you can find optics, like an arm damage optic. Just throw an optic on it when you get into raid. If you find an extra choke or a magazine in raid, like anything, you could throw it on there. It would just be cosmetic. I would never fully load it for solos. In trios, I might fully load it. I mean, even in trios, though, I'd be tempted to half load, like maybe 15 rounds. Maybe not the full 22. Because if they kill you, you're losing out on, you know, a lot more ammo, a lot more rounds than you probably needed to lose. So as you get past 3, like I start hitting the other target. It starts hitting the friggin' T4 guy. And the damage starts going down because you stop hitting the target with as many pellets. That's why I would do 3-round shots. 2 or 3 round shots and then let the reticle come back down. But I mean, and in close range, oh my gosh, what a monster. With no attachments. I mean, you could do the same thing with a pump for cheaper, because you can just buy the pump off the thing. But I mean, if you want the extra fire rate, for 5K, that's not terrible. But if you really want it to be a monster, you put all those other attachments on it, right? She's pretty sweet. I like it a lot. I think this is the shotgun to use for 3s, though. The other 2 shotguns just fire too slow for 3-man combat. This is the only option as far as shotguns go for 3s, I would say. And I would say bullet is probably better than cluster. It's definitely cheaper than cluster. You're going to pay more for cluster. But then you probably don't need much. You could go with joint instead of arm because this thing does have more of a spread and you're likely to hit legs on some of those shots. So if you wanted to rock joint instead of arm, that's a good option. I'd say bullet over cluster. is a good idea. And then just a standard rifling choke, because all shotguns suffer from like a range uh, penalty. So like the range is really short. They'll reach out further than you think. Like 24 is not, it's not like 15. Like 24 is, it's pretty close to 30, which is the cluster. But then you add an extra 20% to that, and it's not bad. So that's really all you need is this guy right here and this and purple ammo. And I'd say 7 to 8 rounds. Maybe buy a stack, throw 8 in, keep 7 back. Safe reload it after you kill a guy. And if you want to save it or protect it, insure it. Kill a guy if he has a good gun to use his gun. Like if it's good enough to use but not good enough to keep and make money off of, use it. Like if it costs more than this. Otherwise, I would just keep using this instead of his, and I would save his and go sell it. Like if he's got like an M4 or something, I'd definitely save his M4, keep using this. But if he's got just like maybe a gray AK, one of the budget build AKs, um, and you don't feel you want to save your shotgun and just like potentially lose a little bit of money off of his AK, you could ditch this and use his AK to finish the raid, which I do that a lot. Like a lot of times I'll just bring in a gun and I'll use it and I'll either safe it if it's a pistol or something small, uh, or if it's a sniper, safe them. Otherwise, I'll ditch it. If something like this, I would just ditch it. Like nobody's gonna pick it up, especially if it's like this in solos. If somebody's gonna pick that up over literally anything else, I'd be surprised. So I would just safe the ammo out of it, ditch it, bring another one in, and I mean, you'll have a bunch of them back in your mailbox, and you can just keep running them. But that's how I'd run it for solos, and this is definitely how I'd run it for trios. And it's up to you how much ammo you feel comfortable putting in it. I try to put only in it the just the right amount for what I'm doing. To kill one person, it's probably going to take like 4 to 5 rounds at best. So if you have like 8, um, that's plenty. And then safe the rest, and you can reload as needed. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.